The chair of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, Nury Turkel, joins us to break down this report. It's great to have you back on the show, Nury. Let's start in Nicaragua. The missionaries of charity and order established by Mother Teresa were kicked out of the country last summer. We saw multiple Catholics, Christians, and political dissidents imprisoned, including Bishop Rolando Alvarez, who's still behind bars. The U.S. did intervene, negotiating the release of many of those prisoners who were then brought to the U.S. What else is the U.S. government doing in the wake of these injustices?
Thank you very much for having me on. The 2022 report on religious conditions in Nicaragua reports a worsening situation that is very concerning to us. The government of Nicaragua, under the President Daniel Ortega and Vice President Murillo, escalated its campaign of harassment and severe persecution against the Catholic Church by targeting clergy, eliminating church-affiliated organizations, placing restriction on religious observances, and in engaging in hate speech against the Catholic Church. So these are the things that we are very concerned. As a result, we have recommended Nicaragua as a country of particular concern for the first time. From 2019 through 2022, we recommended Nicaragua as a country that should be on the special watch list.
Is there anything that could be triggered from that recommendation?
The Ortega regime continued to detain, imprison the individuals associated with Catholic Church, including Bishop Alvarez that you pointed out. Government also shut down 3,000 non-governmental organizations, including numerous church-affiliated NGOs, civil society organizations, and media stations. Government also, again, expelled priests and prevented them from returning to the country after traveling abroad without any official explanations. And finally, regime continued to arbitrarily ban Catholic processions in several cities, often for reason of internal security, which is a very common excuse for countries or regimes that persecute their own religious communities.
Well, it seems things are only getting worse. And we're seeing things getting worse for Christian communities attacked in Nigeria last year as well, including a bombing at a Catholic church that killed 40 people on Pentecost Sunday. We're going to get to that anniversary soon. And another 100 Christians killed this year. What are USERV's recommendations to protect Christians in Nigeria?
You know, the situation in Nigeria is very, very worrying. It has taken a disturbing trend. Since my 3 years with the Commission, I have been advocating raising the cases of a Nigerian Christian community with the senior officials, both in previous administration and current administration. As an organization, as a government agency, we have recommended Nigeria for CPC since 2009.
Wow.
Boko Haram, for example, was recommended as an entity of particular concern since 2020. Islamic State in West Africa has been recommended as an EPC since 2021. So I essentially hope that the administration will listen to us. This is a very concerning situation, that there's an actual atrocity, crimes being committed against the religious communities, particularly the Christian community. So because of the government's inaction, government's unwilling to address these serious issues, the situation in Nigeria is worsening. It's only, in the past, we were talking about non-state actors committing acts of violence, but now it's becoming rampant. It's happening pretty much everywhere. And also people who have been criminalized for even not following a certain type of religious practices. So this is very concerning. The United States government must put aside geopolitical interest and do the right thing. If we don't stop this, we will end up seeing similar type of atrocity crimes being committed to other vulnerable groups. In the last 50 years, the ethno-religious groups have been subject to crimes against humanity, ethnic cleansing, war crimes, genocide. We have to lead
Right.
As Secretary Blinken often says, the world does not organize itself, and the United States must lead. I cannot disagree. I cannot agree with Secretary Moore on this point. On this issue, the religious persecutions in other parts of the world, the United States must lead, because at the end of the day, we're the only country with the resources, with the government agencies, offices, and willingness, and with a long history of defending religious liberty, religious freedom. And this is where we need to show up.
That's right. Nury, well, let's talk about those other communities really quickly. As a Uyghur Muslim, you've seen your people suffer from political indoctrination, imprisonment, enforced labor camps, and even genocide in China. The USURF report indicates that Muslims, Tibetan Buddhists, underground Catholics, and house church Protestants are especially vulnerable to persecution there. Why does it seem that the world is tolerating this, and what are your recommendations?
Simply put, that's a hypocrisy. Chinese Communist Party happened to be a wrong type of adversary or a government or communist political party for the international community to take on. And one particular group, the Uyghurs are getting enough attention for a wrong reason. We've been talking about a genocide that has been ongoing last 7 years. The United States government has taken a number of significant decisions, but because it's been just the United States and the business community is still being complicit in the ongoing crimes against humanity and genocide in the Uyghur homeland, where this practice is still ongoing. But one particular group that I wanted to highlight, underscore, is the Catholics in China. The Vatican must speak out against the persecution of Catholic communities. The Catholic Church and China has this mysterious agreement that has been renewed multiple times. And in one provision in that agreement, allowing the Vatican to have a saying in the appointment of bishops in China must be honored. And also Vatican and our government and other governments, like-minded governments and allies and partners must speak out, must pressure the Chinese to stop cynicization of religious texts, particularly Bible and Quran.
Right.
And also we need to pressure the Chinese to stop forcing Catholics to sign up with the Catholic Patriotic Association. That is an arm of the Communist Party. Communist ideology and religious belief are incompatible. The CCP has figured that out, but the Western liberal democracies are lagging behind. We need to do the right thing to protect the Catholic community in China.
Well, Nury, we're grateful for your advocacy and for your clarity around this, and we hope that everyone will speak up on these horrific and egregious violations of human rights. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me on.
The USURF report gives robust descriptions of religious violations globally. You can read it by visiting www.usurf.gov.